So this is a quick video on how to play the phenomenal game Startups for 3 to 7 players. First, give everyone 10 capital chips on the 1 side value, not the 3 side value. After that, give every player 3 cards to start their hand. On the back side here, it tells you to remove 5 cards, so you cannot perfectly count the cards. Create the deck. Next, lay out the 6 anti-monopoly chips. The objective is to get the most victory points. Every capital chip is 1 victory point. At the end of the game, your capital chips will become $3 values if you're the owner of the company and other people have invested in your company. On your turn, draw a card from the deck or the marketplace. Now, you must either play a card to your portfolio or throw a card out to the marketplace. I will invest in green. Take this. Since I have the majority of the stocks in green out of all the players right now, I take the anti-monopoly chip. The next player would go, and game continues until the deck runs out. So player 2 here, they could play blue. They would take the blue, always have 3 cards in their hand. Great. Player 3 here, they can take a card. So if player 3 here tries to contest player 2 for the blue company, the anti-monopoly chip does not move until they surpass the previous owner. Back to my turn. Draw a card. So I see 2 people competing against for blue. I'm going to throw away my blue card because I don't want any part of that. So I throw blue away. That's my turn. Now, back to player 2 here. They either have to draw from the market or the deck. Unfortunately for them, since they're the anti-monopoly chip, they cannot take from the marketplace of something they own. So they have to skip it and draw from the deck. Fortunately, that means they also do not pay the 1 coin on top of it for skipping it. It'd be good for them to diversify, but let's throw this away because player 2 will not compete for green. So player 3 here. Player 3 either has to draw from the marketplace or the deck. If they skip the cards in the marketplace, then they have to pay a coin on each card for skipping. Since they don't want to compete for green, they probably should take blue, but for this explanation, let's just draw another card. So, I'm sure you've noticed now, there's numbers in the corner. 5 means there's 5 copies of the Giraffe Beer, 6 Bow Wow Games, 7 Flamingos, 8 Browns, 9 Greens, and 10 Reds. So, let's play pink. So now, since you're the only one that has pink out, they take the anti-monopoly chip. So you just keep playing like that until the deck runs out. And then when the deck runs out, everything in your hand automatically gets played to your portfolio at the end of the game. So keeping things in your hand secret can be the easiest way to change the tides, for example. Other tips is that you only need to have majority. You do not need to have all of them. Once you have majority, you can start throwing out bait so that other people will be forced to invest in your company and pay you out at the end of the game. So let's pretend we made it to the end of the game here. All right. We just see who's the owner of yellow. That'd be me. I would take that. They don't have a yellow card. For every yellow card they have, they would take one of their coins, convert it to a 3, and hand it to me. But they don't have any, so no one gets paid out. If there's a tie for majority owners, then no one gets paid out. So 5 is done. Let's go to 6. So here, for example, there's a tie majority. The marketplace discard does not count. So because they're both tied out, nobody has to pay, including myself. I didn't have a blue, but if I did, I would not have to pay. We go here for 7s. Since we're tied, no one has to pay out. 8s, I have it, but they do not have a brown stock, so I don't get paid out. 9s, and then 10s. So let's go back to this situation, for example. If we're now the stock owner, this person has 1 stock in it. In blue, they would have to take their 1 coin, convert it to 3. All right, and then whoever has the most victory points at the end of the game is the winner. Variants include keeping tracks of points and playing this over 4 rounds. So if you're in first place, you get 2 points. Last place, you lose 1 point. Second place, you get 1 point. And then third, you're neutral. If it wasn't clear, if there were any coins on top of the stock in the discard pile, you would get all the coins associated with it for your points at the end of the game. If you had the anti-monopoly chip, you would not be able to take the stock in the discard pile. However, you do not have to pay a coin on top of it for skipping, and you can go directly to the draw pile. And if there were several cards in the discard pile, you would have to pay 1 coin on top of each card you are not the Monopoly owner of in order to draw from the draw pile.